like to welcome you all here this afternoon. This is where you meet here today to honour and to pay tribute here to the life of Robert John Bown, or affectionately known as Rob, or ROBDOGG, to a lot of you all here today. My name is Richard, and I've just been asked just to say a few words and to lead you all here today in saying your goodbyes to him. And it was quite evident just having a look here that he is a man of my own heart, because I too am a North Melbourne supporter as well. So I'm just channeling in here my inner ROBDOGG here at the moment, and it looks like I've got a pissy little tie on through here, but I think I'm going to do it. Is that he'd probably be calling me a pussy for not doing it, maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to wear my North Melbourne Guernsey here for the service. Hope you don't mind. But I think it's quite fitting. Mine's all signed as well, so I don't know what year from here, but I'll put my coat on here too as well. Thank you. That's better. This is where you come here today to express your love and your admiration here for him. This is where you remember the little things that made a special place here in all of your hearts. For this is where you remember the times that you laughed, and perhaps the times that you didn't. This is where you share in these memories and you gather here to be with one another, to stand beside one another and not be uncomfortable with these tears. Let us say thank you for Rob, for the joy that he has given to all you here as family and of friends. Let us say thank you for being such a good friend. Let us say thank you for the people that he touched all in his life. Because Rob will always be in these memories, and so be kind and patient with one another. And just allow each and every one of you here today to express your feelings in the way that fits you the best. And so today you either come along with a word or a hug or a memory to share in these times, but also in the times to come. And these are the times like birthdays and holidays, the times you're really going to miss him the most. But most importantly, you're all here today to say goodbye to him. And this is where you surround Rob with all the words of kindness and respect, and you give thanks for all this gratefulness that you have of him. Because this is a special moment where you can actually let tears flow today, but you can also let laughter heal. This is where you begin to share these stories and begin this journey here today of turning these stories here today into memories. And so today we'll be listening to family members who will be coming forward and be sharing their words, their thoughts and their memories here of Rob. We'll be seeing another part of his life here through picture up here on the screen. But there's also be another opportunity, if there is anybody in the gathering here, if you would like to come forward to share a memory, you're more than welcome to come forward, but only if you wish to. There's no pressure to come up here to today. So, but firstly, I'd like to share with you, if I may, just a little snapshot, just a little tribute here that the family have put together here of Rob's life. So thank you for coming to celebrate the life of Robert John Bown. Robert was born on the 10th of May 1966 at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital to Joan and Kelvin Bown. He was quickly followed by his first and forever friend, his twin sister, Tanya, who was born just 15 minutes later. He also had 3 older siblings waiting for him at home, Joanne, Kelvin and Debbie. Robert grew up in Whyalla in South Australia, and he often shared stories of his childhood where they were always happy memories. He was a cheeky but stubborn person, even in the early days. Often getting into mischief under Tanya's influence, he would say. He would fire up trees, be too scared to climb back down, climb on roofs and roll off, just to see what would happen. They would swing on the clothesline and run from their mother when she would tell them off. Robert was always reminiscent of the hot summer nights in Whyalla and how him and his siblings would camp on the beach, or when they would go to the pub with their mum and get a drink and a bag of chips. He was so fond of his childhood. Even when they didn't have much, they always had love and each other. Robert always had a love for football. This love began at Rapina Football Club when he was around 8 years of age. His love for the game only grew as he got older, when he went on to play for many clubs as an adult, such as Redlegs and Jervois, Callington, finishing up as a timekeeper with the Mighty Hawks here in Langwell Creek. Anyone who knew Rob knew he was a die-hard North Melbourne supporter, and he was a true shin boner. At 18 years of age, he moved to Newcastle, where he stayed until he was 21, when he then moved to Murray Bridge to be with his mum. Robert met Joy in 1990 and they fell in love quickly, and only 3 months after the meeting they conceived their first child, educated at Bearwood High School, Wow. He was conceived, the first child was conceived on the 24th of 1991, Shane was born. Robert was overjoyed to be the father, and his little boy lit up his world. And Rob always said Shane was his best mate. On December 7th, 1991, Robert married Joy, and it was a hot but beautiful backyard wedding held at Robert's mum's house. It wasn't too much longer after that Robert and Joy welcomed their second bundle of joy, Courtney, who was born on June the 4th, 1993. Robert and Joy clearly loved each other so much because Jessica arrived just 18 months later, on the 5th of January 1995. Wow. Life was busy, but Robert was complete. He was a fantastic father, husband and a friend. Robert worked for 8 years at Metro Meats as a packer in the offal room. This is where he met many of lifelong friends. After leaving Metro Meats, he went on to working at the piggery, and he enjoyed this work and caring for the animals. And after a back injury, Rob retired and went into being a full-time dad. The best job in the world, he would always say. In 2001, 5 became 6 when Robert and Joy adopted their son Wayne. And Wayne quickly learned how great it was to have a dad like Rob. He treated Wayne exactly how he treated his other children and loved him just the same. Robert never missed a moment of all his kids' lives, no matter how big or small. He would always show up and cheer them on and continue this with his grandchildren. And now this is where I'm probably going to be in a bit of trouble in pronouncing some of the children here. I do apologise. And Kylan, I've got that correct. Malia, yes. Anthony, Alexis, Marshall, Kyra, Kira, Lucas. And unfortunately, little Riley was born just 10 days after Rob's passing, but she will always know how much he loved her. In 2013, Robert was a proud father to give his daughter Courtney away at her wedding. He always boasted about what a great man she was marrying and how happy he made her. Robert always had an open heart and home to anyone in need. And in doing so, he gained so many of his children's friends who called him Dad or Pappy, a special nickname from our day. A boy he loved like his own. Rob always made everyone feel safe and home. Robert's passion for football extended further than playing and watching the game. He was a proud coach for many years at Callington, where he even coached all 4 of his children. Shane and Wayne had many friends he wanted to play but did not have the access. That was not okay for Robert, as he'd say every kid should be able to play sport, especially football. So he went on and bought a van out of his own pocket and made sure every kid had a ride. Many years later, this extended to Shane's boy Ant when he was selected by Sturt Football Club. Rob enjoyed taking Ant to every training session, whether it be in Mount Barker or in Adelaide, right until his health declined. Anne and Rob really bonded over the love of the game. Rob was filled with pride when Shane became a coach of the B-grade Rezzies here at Langhorne Creek Football Club. Rob had always remained active in his friends' and families' lives, even as they got older and started their own families. But unfortunately, in the late June of 2023, Robert was diagnosed that shocked everyone who knew him. His battle was short, but fought tough like the man he was. Sadly, 10 weeks after, on the 14th of September 2023, he lost his battle, but with his family by his side, he was never alone. Robert was loved by many and will be missed by all. Rest easy, sweet ROBDOGG. Well done. Thank you, family. I think that deserves a round of applause, don't you think? Well done. So at this point, I'd like to invite Courtney. You want to come up first? Yeah? That's okay. Take your time.
Nikki.
Just pause for a moment if that's all right. You're all right? You're doing it? Yeah, that's okay.
I'm Nikki. I'm probably going to cry, but this is from Courtney. It says, I want to start today by thanking everyone who came today to celebrate, to celebrate the amazing man I call Dad. I also want to apologise for how difficult this will be for me to get through. From the minute I was born, you were my whole world and I was Daddy's little girl. We were inseparable for my whole life, and anybody who knew us knew the bond we shared. Shane, Jess and myself were very lucky to be born to a man who showed us nothing but unconditional love. Wayne soon learned the unconditional love from the minute he moved in and became Dad's son. He was our biggest cheerleader and supported us in all our dreams, no matter how big or small. A huge highlight for Dad was when Shane became the coach of the Langhorne Creek whatever that is. I'm not a football person. Oh, how he beamed with pride. He was always chuffed whenever Shane called him for any kind of coaching advice. Dad was my best friend my whole life. He never missed a dance performance, sports day or any event we had on for school, no matter how minor it was. He always showed up for us, even when we made mistakes. He always had our backs and fixed any problem he could. As a 15-year-old girl, I met the man I married. Dad never felt like he lost his baby but gained a son and a best friend. 2 quickly became 3. We lived together, laughed together and shared many fond memories for almost 15 years. We had so many holidays together, but Dad's favourite was the trip to Port Macquarie's to spend Christmas with Ray's family. He always talked about that holiday and how much he enjoyed getting back to New South Wales, where he spent his early 20s. But most importantly, he got to see his best friend he hadn't seen in 20 years, Sean. Dad, you were the kindest, most gentle man I've ever met. You greeted everyone with a smile and a friendly hello. You took many of our friends under your wing and loved them like they were their own, like they were your own. You will be greatly missed, and no one could ever fill the hole you've left in this world. Sorry. Your laugh was infectious, and I will never forget it. Rest easy, Angel. I know this is not the end for us, but for when it is my time, my soul will come home to you. I love you.
Thank Courtney as well, and thank you for coming in. Joy, you want to come forward?
Hello,
Hello and thank you for everyone attending today to say goodbye to the most amazing husband, father, brother, Poppy, Robert. I met Robert, who I called Blibbert, in January of 1990 at the indoor cricket centre. It was a 40-degree day. He walked in, stirred shorts, green and gold tank top, hung over with the most amazing, beautiful brown eyes and red hair. Someone decided it was a smart idea to start a water fight with ice water. I thought he threw ice water on me, so I grabbed a bucket full of ice water, grabbed his shorts and jocks forward and tipped it down his shorts. He chased me for half an hour and drenched me. When we were finished at cricket, he asked if I wanted to go swimming at the river. To be soaked, I said yes, not really, realising how cheeky he was. We went there. We went there, and not liking cold water, I walked, slowly walking in, but not quick enough for Blibbert. He threw me over his shoulder, ran into the water with me screaming and begging not to. When I surfaced, we were so far out, I couldn't reach the ground, as he was obviously a lot taller than I. I was hanging on for dear life. He was laughing. We went close to shore. Once I could touch the bottom, he thought it would be a funny idea to undo my bikini top and take off, leaving me in the water, laughing his head off. We were inseparable after that. As you know, Rob was a massive football fan. He loved every sport. And I mean every sport. It was so bad in our house we had to get a second TV and Foxtel box. So Shane and Dad were in one room and me and the girls had another room. We had so many great times together with our friends, our family, Robert's family, cricket tournaments and many other adventures. One sticks to mind, which involves David and Carpy. After cricket, we would always stop at Macca's, and they decided that they would have pickle races, and this went on every time we went to Adelaide, where they would throw the pickles at the top and decide whose would get to the bottom first, until we were barred from Macca's. He introduced our kids to sport, indoor cricket. Shane was playing first, and she was very proud because Shane was playing by the age of 10. He was so proud of that. Our children, all 4 of them, were his main priority. He was an absolutely amazing father, and he loved going to school recitals, concerts, sports days. He never missed anything. He loved watching his nieces, his nephews. He loved being with his family and was always proud of our babies and our grandbabies. Robert is one of the best men I've ever known and love, and will miss his beautiful sparkling brown eyes, his cheeky grin and that beautiful smile. Life feels unbearable and trying to move on without him seems impossible. He fought a hard battle for me, our children, his family, his friends and our grandchildren. Well, your fight is over, your pain is gone. You're with your mum and my dad, so fly high with your beautiful blue and white wings and watch over us, knowing that you are loved, adored and cherished by me, our children, your family, your friends and your beloved Logan Creek. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye, my love. As much as I don't want to, it's time to fly high with the angels. We'll always love you, and I cherish you, and will never forget you. Thank you for 33 years, 4 beautiful children. I've loved you, and I just want to say goodbye, but I miss you, and I love you.
Thanks, Joy. Shane, would you like to come forward?
Apologies about my voice, just hopefully I can get through this. Didn't really know what I wanted to say today. I just know that I just wanted to say something about my hero, I guess the man I call Dad. From as early as I can remember, I spent countless hours with Dad, watching any sport you could think of: footy, cricket, basketball, tennis, golf, the Olympics, indoor carpet bowls, whatever was on TV, sports related, we'd probably be watching it. But our two main loves were football and cricket. We bonded probably more specifically over our love of the North Melbourne Footy Club, and probably to a lesser extent the Sturt Footy Club. From a very young age, I can remember Dad and my nan. We'd go to Footy Park and we'd watch Wayne Carey and the like, just get a hold of the Crows or Port, whoever it was, and we had so much fun. Or down at Unley watching the Sturt Footy Club. I guess that's where my love for football and sport in general come from, was from Dad. Other than footy, the other regular thing that we do would be the indoor cricket centre. There's a lot of people in here today that probably remember me hanging on Dad's hip at the indoor cricket centre, and I can't count the amount of nights that I spent there, with Dad. Whether I'd be up there with him umpiring or just writing down in the book for him, whatever it was, we'd always be there. And again, some of my more cherished memories. When I was about 10, I was playing footy at Callington, and the football club wanted to introduce under 12s, and Dad took that role on. Something that he took great pride in doing that. I had a lot of mates that I played footy with. At the start, there was probably only a few, but by the time we finished up at Callington, we'd regularly need 2-3 cars to get the boys out. A lot of the boys end up at my house 6 a.m. in the morning. I'd wake up, they'd be there, and Dad never cared. Dad loved it. Whether Thursday nights, Tuesday nights, staying over. After footy on Saturdays, we'd always be together, and Dad always let us have that freedom to have that. So. It's just unbelievable to be able to do that. Not many parents would, and I love my childhood for that. After that, like it's been mentioned before, Dad just loves footy and helping kids, and more recently, until his health took over, he was taking his Sturt trainings quite regularly for us, helping me and Felicia because we had to work, and again, something I'm forever grateful, and I'm sure Anne is as well. Dad's always pushed me and did everything he could to make sure that I got to local sport, any rep sport, and always had this great belief that I could make it whatever I did. When I was approached to coach the reserves at Lown Creek, I spoke with Dad as I didn't think I was capable. I was only 29. I'd missed a lot of footy through injuries, but Dad's always been my biggest fan. He's had 100% faith that I could get the job done. At the end of last year, probably didn't know if I wanted to coach footy again. And again, it was him that said, no, you've got to take these boys and continue on. And again, we played finals again. So, his ability and his faith in me, growing up with everything I've done, has been unbelievable. Dad, I'm sad you won't get to see me lift that cup one day. I'm sad you won't get to see me coach potentially at a high level. I'm sad you won't get to see Kyle and Malaya and Ann all grow up. But I'm happy that we got to be a part of your life, even if it was only short. I'll continue to push my kids to be the best they can be and make sure I give them every opportunity like you gave me. This isn't goodbye. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Shane. Jess, would you just like to come forward?
Mine's not as long as everybody else's, and I don't have stories because they're mine and I'm selfish. So, my dad, as you all know, was a great man, wore his heart on his sleeve. He had many nicknames: ROBDOGG, Bowney, Bluebird, and so on, but I was so lucky I got to call him my daddy. No matter how old I got or how big I got, I could always snuggle with my daddy and feel like a little girl again, safe in daddy's arms. I will just miss the safety of your arms and the warmth of your hugs. I'll miss so many things about you, but there's nothing I'll miss more than you being my daddy. I hope you're proud of the woman you raised and the mother you helped me to be. I'll do my best every day to be half the human being you wanted me to be. And if I am even a quarter of the human being you were, that would be enough for me. I love you, Daddy. May you rest in peace.
Thanks, Jess. Kelly, would Kelly like to come forward?
Words cannot explain the absolute heartache we are feeling. We have been so lucky to have the amazing man in our lives. And watching the bond he and our mum shared as twins has been the best years of our life. Uncle Rob was like a father to us growing up. He was with us the minute we were born. As we would say, we were his girls. Poor Uncle Rob didn't have it easy living with us girls, but he was the best babysitter. When he would say, "It's bedtime," Kylie would always be a good girl and listen, but me, on the other hand, had my own plans. I taught him how to move like the Matrix, ducking and dodging knives and Vegemite jars, but with all that, he still loved us dearly. He even bought me 100 Matchbox cars for Christmas, even though girls didn't really play with cars back then. But he knew I loved them, and he got Kylie dolls because she was a girly girl. But then our little brother BJ was born, and we had to share Uncle Rob. BJ didn't get to share all the special memories with us, but he got to make his own with Uncle Rob. BJ and Shane were very close growing up, so Uncle Rob ended up with 2 little mini Robs. BJ used to go to cricket with him and was lucky enough to have Uncle Rob as his football coach. Uncle Rob may be gone, but he will always hold a special place in our hearts and memories. Love always, your ankle biter, Rugrat and BJ.
Thank you very much for that. This is where now I'd like to invite, if there is anybody here in the gathering, if you would like to come forward to share in a memory, you're more than welcome to, if you want to come forward.
So this is a bit soon. I've been the luckiest person to have Rob, a very close part of my life, for 25 years. I first met him as a 10-year-old girl at the Callington Football Club. Courtney and Jess, these 2 little, oh man, like honestly, the oh girl, you kids are sorry. When Rob took over as coach, my sister Mary, who couldn't be here today, her love for football, he knew, and straight away he said to her, "You are coming and playing for me." She wasn't even 8 years old at the time, I don't think, and she stayed with him, and he got a permit for her to continue playing junior colts. You know, he was everything to our family. When my dad passed away 20 years ago, he promised that he was going to be there for us girls. And that was my promise that he always kept. No matter how far we lived, he would always ring, always message. And then we're lucky enough to have Jess move down close to us. And so it just felt like he was that much closer. And then when Mum got sick, this is the family that we had. Rob and Joy, Shane, Courtney, Jess, Nick and Rain. I didn't get to see Wayne very much, but you know, I had. This is my family. This is what we girls have, and this is because of Rob and Joy and the amazing person that Rob was and always will be. This is way too soon, but I'm so thankful that I've been able to have him in our lives, and thankful that the family have welcomed us in, especially over these last few weeks. I love you guys so much, and I promise I'm there no matter what.
Well done, thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward to share? Well, at this point of the service, this is another part where we'll see another part of Rob's life, and this is through picture. So, one more. Yep. All good.
He'll always be a part of us, even if he's far away, he will always be with us. I hope he had a great time in life. I hope he's grateful for all the people and friends and family he loves.
How good's that? Well done, thank you very much. Showed a lot of courage, didn't it? At this point of the service here, we'll just have a look at another part of the service here. This is through picture. And this is where we actually see another part here of Rob's life. So if you'd like to fix your eyes to the screen, we'll have a look at that now. Thank you. You're ready.
time has gone. I'll tell you good night, close the door. Tell you I love you once more. Time has gone, so here it is. I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown-ups saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. And while you're sleeping, I'll try to make you proud. So tell you what, you just close your eyes. Don't be afraid. It's my time to chase the monsters away.
Please stay safe. Love you always, Robbie.
Well done. How good was that? Thank you, family. You do have a joy of which you become especially aware of at this moment, as you've just remembered Rob in the times of good. And this is where you've just pictured his living image in your minds, and you've just recalled the special and personal qualities that made him quite unique. But sometimes there are no words to express the mixture of feelings that all of you are feeling here today. But perhaps it is gratefulness that his life of inspiration here was a part of this earth, to guide and to teach and to love. You come here together to stand with Rob's family here to bear witness here to their loss. And his passing makes us see the most precious gift that we have, and this is love. And when you lose it, this makes you feel the pain like no other. So let the tears flow. Let Rob's name be a powerful name. Speak it, think it, and remember it. His name will always be in your hearts and also in your minds. So he will continue to live always on in your thoughts. There is also something special here today. You see that you all here are the positive evidence that Rob's influence hasn't ceased because he's left you. In some special way now he's even more strength because he brings you all together. And when we really think about today, we think of the little things that really do matter. And these could be so simple, and this could be just telling people how much they mean to us, how much we appreciate them, or even how much we love them. Rob will always remain a member here of your family and a circle here of all of you as friends. Through the influence he's had on all of you and the special place he's placed always in your life. So now is but a moment in time that we dedicate the next few moments to every single precious memory here associated with him. So here in this final act, in sorrow but without fear, in love and appreciation, we now commit his body, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. May he rest in peace. From this time on, you come here to place a flower here and send a wish of a remembrance here to him. It is here that you come to feel the presence of the love that you shared in his life. Rob left behind such a huge example of living each moment, striving to do his best, and seeking joy in everything that he touched. It is here that you show honour of the memories of a life that he touched and will always remain alive always with you in your hearts. because this is where Rob will never be forgotten. May you therefore pledge to keep an example of love and joy and determination in your life. Let it be that each day you be eternally grateful that he was a part of your life and of your world and of your lives. And in closing, I would like to share with you just a beautiful little poem. So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus. North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne. They're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me. Amen. This completes our service here today for ROBDOGG, Robert. Thank you ever so much for being here today and sharing this time with them. Thank you, family, very much for coming forward and showing courage here today in sharing in your tributes and stories and eulogies. So thank you ever so much for doing that today and sharing also that photo presentation as well. I'm sure that'll be played again during more festivities, I would say, here during the afternoon. Shortly I'll be asking pallbearers to come forward, and I'll ask the pallbearers, it's a bit narrow through this way because we're going to be heading out through this way here, and the bearers will be placing Rob into the hearse, where the hearse will drive away a little bit later. But this is where we give you the opportunity to come forward at the back of the hearse to pay your last respects by placing a small flower on Rob's coffin. And then they do tell me this is where the resis all congregate, is that right? Just here? Bit of rabble, would that be right as well? That's all right, that's fine. So it seems quite fitting that we pay our last respects and just a journey and just paying out here for a little while. And this is where, after you've all come through, the hearse will be leaving a little bit later. Once the hearse has left, obviously you're invited to come back into here, is that right? To spend some more time this afternoon in reminiscing and more memories and more stories, I'm sure, from there. So I thank you all very much. Could I ask you to please stand? And I'll ask for the pallbearers just to meet me just outside from this door from here. Thank you.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, the rules are on the ball. Good old Kangas, the champions you'll agree. The kangaroos with Remy is just you wait and see.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
I don't even smoke weed, but I feel high when I'm next to you, babe. Used to be my girl, used to be my boo thing. Now I'm telling everybody you my boo thing, you my boo thing. I don't even smoke weed, but I feel high when I'm next to you.